this cursor around. So yeah, we'll just go through these. We'll go to Twitter. I think this will open up. Oh, not just his Twitter profile, it's just the Twitter. I mean, you see, you got his handle right there, but it's just someone's Twitter feed. Or just a mimic of somebody's Twitter feed. Microsoft Windows 95, it sucks less. Sega, we're approaching Saturn. eBay sold a broken laser pointer. AOL, you know, hashtags are basically keywords, right? Sun Micro, Java, right ones to run everywhere. Mikey LD95 is out today. And then Microsoft says, you will love the easy Microsoft Blob experience. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, you've got some like parody trends up here. Internet Explorer, Microsoft unveils secure new browser. Online bookstore will go public for Amazon. First ever Electronic Entertainment Expo this May. IBM Deep Blue prototype naming chess grandmasters. Yeah, so that's gosh. It's just stuff like this attention to details is super cool. So yeah, that's Twitter. Bandcamp is just a screenshot of his Bandcamp page, or maybe not an exact screenshot, but yeah, because you know some of this text looks a little bit different. But yeah, there you go. You got YouTube, which will open up his YouTube channel, by the way. I'll have his channel link down below as well if you want to watch some of this stuff. And then here's the Itch.io page, so that we were just on. So there it is. Reddit opens up the Sega Genesis subreddit. Pretty nice. And Space Jam, I assume is going to be, yeah, just a screenshot of the Space Jam website. So there it is. Hamster Dance. There it is. Hamster Dance. Zombo. And I'm feeling lucky, I think just opens up random stuff. Yeah, so here's the Hamster Dance page again. You've also got a parody of All Your Base Will Belong to Us, but it's him. So yeah, I'm assuming that this is his face. You know, you saw that in the logo on the startup screen. So I assume that this is him. And yeah, so it says Mikey LD, All Your Base Will Belong to Us. So I assume you just go through here. I guess that's a bit of an Easter egg. That's one of the Easter eggs. Very, very neat for sure. We'll go ahead and back out of that. And we'll hit C here, actually, to get out of that. And next up is music, which of course was the original purpose behind creating this in the first place, because these are all of the chiptune songs here. So you can go through and play every single one of these if you want. So here's the startup sound again. So yeah, pretty cool. We'll go ahead and play this one here. Now, the Bandcamp page is showing 22 songs, and you see we've got 11 in here, so it looks like he hasn't brought every song over here, which is understandable, you know, if he wants to keep, you know, most of the songs to where you have to actually buy them, right? That makes total sense. But, yeah, you can definitely listen to these here and, you know, check them out. And, yeah, honestly, these sound pretty good, I gotta say, just from my little playthrough of them here. This is kind of giving me a Doom vibe. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Waffles, Revenge, 5-digit years. Yeah, I won't, like, play every single one of these because, you know, you guys can actually go over and purchase the album if you want. But, yeah, so that is, again, I just love the fact that, you know, he started this thing out as just a chiptune music album, and then it ends up just morphing into this just really cool experience, and the fact that it's free is just freaking awesome. So apparently when you just sit idle on the desktop here for a while, even if you've already opened stuff, Click will just come up and say, hey, you know, this is how you actually interact with the system here, with the quote-unquote operating system. Next up is Inbox. If you open this up, you've got, you see a couple emails in here. You got one from him, Mikey LD, which is a welcome thing here. Thank you for choosing Mikey LD #5, the operating system for your Sega Genesis console. Please enjoy the music, games, visual language, internet, and more. It looks like we also have an assistant to the regional manager. Thank you for your contribution to our shareholder value. I know that you don't slack off to play video games, surf the web, or listen to that dreadful techno music. Maybe I'll even see you here on the weekend. So, yeah, assistant to the regional manager, obviously a reference to a certain NBC TV show. Now, display here is where you get into some really cool stuff, because he's brought over various backgrounds from Windows 95 and Windows 3.1. So you got the iconic Bubbles wallpaper here. You've got, you know, you can go through here and we'll just apply side. We'll just go through all of them, right? Carved stone, circles, metal links, red blocks, tiles, waves, and then you also have color schemes here. So if you want to apply, and he did mention that he specifically brought over hot dog stand color scheme from Windows 3.1, which I think we can all agree is the best Windows visual style, hands down. But yeah, you can go through, and of course, not like every single wallpaper, every single color scheme is in here, but he brought over a lot of them. I'm just hitting the wrong button here. I want to hit B to apply. And so instead of OK, we'll just apply it and close out of it. So yeah, you got rose and spruce. We're going to set it back to hot dog stand. I think we're going to go with red blocks. Yeah, there you go. Gosh, that's giving me a Virtual Boy vibe. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Red blocks, okay, there we go. So, yeah, it's just, really, it's just a lot of fun, man, so far, just going through here. Credits, you've got the Dancing Baby thing, which has his head on it again. This is his full name right here, Michael Elder. I think he did the music programming and graphics, and here's some additional credits here. And, of course, the logo, which is in the Windows 95 logo type there. And so, there you go. But that's not all, because we open up the start menu, we've got even more stuff. So under accessories, we pretty much have console, credits, display, internet, inbox, music, everything that was on the desktop. If you go to games here, though, he's got some games that he's added in here, so that makes this an actual Sega Genesis game, because it has games that you can play on it, but it's in a game itself. Isn't that so, like, meta, if people still use that word? Yeah. So 3D Maze. Now, I've not messed around with any of these before, so this is completely, I'm just going into this blind. So let's turn on the mini-map, I guess, and hit start. And, oh my gosh. So it's obviously based around that Windows screensaver that I forget the name of at the moment. I guess 3D Maze is the name of it. But, yeah, it's like, yeah, you're just going through the maze trying to figure out where the exit is. So let's see if we can do this. So that mini map definitely comes in handy for sure. So let's go this way. Let's go up, over. Oh gosh, no, not that way. Oh hey, look at that. Oh no, come on. No. I gotta go this way. This way? No, this way. This way and down. We're getting there. I'm just thinking how difficult this would be without the mini map. I can turn there, and there it is. So that's oh my gosh. Gosh, that'll give you nightmares, won't it? Yeah, he said that the 3D Maze game has the mouse and OpenGL picture from the original, plus my own warped take on the smiley at the end. So, yeah. Ambulance. Open this up here. So, MeDOS. So, this game here is supposed to mimic an MS-DOS game. You can choose your color palette here if you want full, CJ0, CJ1, so you got two different CJ options. We'll just go with full here. Actually, you know what? We'll go with CJ0 and we'll press start. And, yeah, there you go. This reminds me of that Easter egg in Excel. I forget what version of it was, but the one where it's got this game that's, oh no, I lost. Oh no. Yeah, this definitely reminds me of that. So let's see. Alright, I lost. There's 33. So, not bad. Maybe. But yeah, so that's ambulance. And, oh yeah, we've got a new email. You can see that little notification icon there. So you open it up, and he had mentioned that after 10 to 20 minutes of play, you'll receive a suspicious attachment in the in-game email inbox, and I can already tell what it is. So we got a message from John here. Kindly check the attached love letter coming from me. And, oh my gosh, I love it. So this is, for those who don't know, the love letter worm, which was an email worm that spread in the early 2000s. That spread all over the place because a bunch of people thought that their coworkers or friends or anybody in their email inbox were sending them a love letter. It looks like it's overwritten all of our stuff here. So what happens when you open one of these up? Unexpected error has occurred. That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
So even the clock down there has also been overwritten. Can't even open up the start menu. So you've got this repair option. It's well known that the out-of-box experience for the PlayStation Classic was a huge letdown. But the Project Eris mod changed all of that by allowing you to add the PlayStation 1 games that you want to play to the system. And with the addition of emulating over 30 game systems through RetroArch and Emulation Station, you can now load up thousands of other games to your liking. Let's get your PlayStation Classic modded up the right way. I've seen a lot of guides that in the past didn't do a good job of covering this, and it's important. You'll need to use a USB drive that's compatible with the PlayStation Classic in order for all of this to work properly. I have this wiki webpage linked for you in the video description. It has access to a list of all of the well-known USB-compatible drives that work with the PlayStation Classic. I think the most important piece of information you can take away from all of this is that the PlayStation Classic USB ports are low-powered. You can typically use USB 2.0 drives without an additional powered USB hub. But if you plan to use a USB 3.0 drive, you'll almost certainly need a powered USB hub to support it. The Project Eris mod itself has reached a special degree of maturity because it's reached version 1.00. It's hosted at the Mod My Classic website, and I have it linked for you in the video description. Scroll down below the video tutorial guide you see to the Downloads section. Look for the listing that says Download Project Eris version 1.0.0 full package download. Click on the link to download the package to your downloads folder. And while it's downloading, let's go ahead and grab the GUI format software from the Ridgecroft Consulting Limited website. I also have this link for you in the video description. This program helps format large volume USB storage into FAT32 format, which you'll need to do. Just click the big graphic right in the middle of the page to download the program to your downloads folder. I have the downloads folder open on the left side in File Explorer, and I've just inserted a USB drive, which I'm going to put on the right side. Make sure you know exactly which drive letter represents the USB storage you just inserted into your computer. To get the drive formatted in FAT32 format, double-click the GUI format executable file. Then at the UAC prompt, click on Yes to continue. Take a close look at the target drive letter at the top left corner of the GUI format window. Make sure the letter shown here matches the letter of the USB drive you inserted. For example, in this case, it's drive G. You also need to rename the drive. Although I'm partial to the name Subscribe for drives, you'll need to rename the drive Sony, S-O-N-Y, all capital letters. Now that you...
Alright, go on. Oh, it's not large enough. I didn't read that.
So what are the key ingredients for a successful life? Let's get one thing straight right off the bat. Success for me isn't about being rich or being famous or building an empire. And it certainly isn't about having a whole bunch of useless possessions. The things we choose to own should add value and help us live a better life. We should be able to do more with them than we can without them. This Moroccan teapot, by the way, is essential. Anything that makes tea is obviously essential. Last year I spent 7 months living in Morocco. It is such an incredible culture with really lovely people. I've learned a lot about living nomadically around the world over the past 10 years, and for me, success is about the pursuit of happiness. So good. There are some key ingredients for life which are essential for successful living, and today we're going to look at what those are. Full disclosure, guys, Intel have sent me this Dell XPS laptop to showcase how the Intel eBay platform can empower a nomadic mobile lifestyle. And as you see, This tiny but mighty laptop is at the heart of everything I do in pursuit of successful living. So what are the key ingredients for successful living?
Storage.
Passion is essential for success. When you're passionate, you wake up in the morning excited to embrace the day, eager to improve. A big part of being successful living in a modern world is growing, learning, evolving, becoming a better version of yourself. It's a challenge, but one we have to embrace if we want to be successful. Fun fact, I actually learned everything that I needed to become a creator, to become a YouTuber, from watching YouTube itself. We live in a time where you can learn pretty much anything from people all over the world at just the touch of a button, and that is so special. The Intel Evo platform is being designed specifically for mobile performance. It has instant wake, and I mean instant. It's been designed to be responsive from anywhere. That means there's no longer a barrier between my curiosity or my creativity. Becoming more accomplished at life is something we've all been doing since the day we were born. It's an integral part of life, and it's impossible to be successful without continuing this natural curiosity to learn and grow. You might think that the secret to a good life is to not work. I've tried that. It is fun, but eventually you get restless, even bored. It's a fact that people...
Now that you have the right drive with the right name, click on Start. Then at the confirmation prompt, click OK to format your drive in FAT32. And you...
Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now Today, I'm setting out to answer that perennial, unsolved mystery of computer. Today, I'm setting out to answer that perennial, unsolved mystery of computer science. Just how many floppy drives is too many floppy drives? Is it 34? And just what can one do with 34 USB floppy drives? I could power my car with them. Doesn't fit. Maybe I could shingle my roof with them. I can't reach it. I know. Let's RAID 0 all these things together into one giant mega floppy and then try to install stuff to it. Grab onto your magnetic platters because this is going to get weird. So stay tuned. And if you enjoy the sound of scores of floppy drives screaming in unison as we mash them together into some sort of floppy abomination, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. We do lots of computery shenanigans around here, and well, most of them make more sense than this, but only just. I feel like this is going to fall. RAIDs are one of the marvels of computer storage, where you can take multiple drives and use them together as one. RAID stands for Redundant Array of Inexpensive Disks, although ours here is going to be more ridiculous than redundant, so how about Ridiculous Array of Inexpensive Floppies? RAID. I like it. There's 5 levels of RAID, or in our case, RAID. RAID 0 combines all of the disks together into one virtual bigger disk and stripes the data across them with no concern for redundancy. If any one of our disks fail, all of the data is lost, which makes it perfect for 34 20-year-old floppy disks. should be fine. There's also RAID 1, 5, 6, and 10, which offer various levels of redundancy and or striping, or something like that. I'm not an expert. What I do know is that macOS 10 has, for decades, made it ridiculously easy to set up a RAID. And in fact, my inspiration for this was a 20-year-old article in Macworld covering a post on Boing Boing, yeah, that old, which told the tale of Daniel Olson, a computer shenanigans visionary who worked at YE Data Corp, a company that made, among other things, USB floppy drives. And in a moment of inspiration, he connected 5 of them up to his 500 megahertz iMac G3, macOS 10.2, and he set them up in a RAID, which to his surprise worked just fine, and actually seemed faster than any one individual floppy drive did on its own. I even found a picture of this ungainly abomination in a follow-up Wired article. Just so today, we're going to try and out-floppy Mr. Olson and RAID together 34 USB floppy drives. I've got 2 big, beefy, powered USB hubs, and yeah, we'll have to scrounge around for a suitable power. But first, a word from the sponsor of today's video, PCBWay. Long famous for being a one-stop shop for high-quality PCB prototyping and production, PCBWay offers a ton of services for every step of the project, including 3D printing, injection molding, CNC machining, and even sheet metal fabrication. They even offer high-quality PCB assembly services. Get those hard-to-solder SMD components professionally assembled and shipped right to your door. Right now, there's a special deal on assembly services, only $30 for 1 to 20 pieces. So, if you have any PCB needs, I hope you'll give PCBWay.com a try. So this seems like a great opportunity to pull out the old PowerMac G4 466 digital audio, one of my favorite PowerMac designs of all time, with the sleek gray and the pinstriping. Now, I did start out by testing some of these USB drives just one by one to see if they work, because I got them from all over the place. The thrift store, eBay, Amazon, just a real mix of all kinds of different brands and qualities. And I figured probably the smartest way to go about this would be to test these in pairs and try to see which ones would actually show up and which ones would actually RAID against one another. So trying to make 2 floppy drive at a time RAIDs and weed out any of them that don't work. But that sounds really boring, so better idea. Let's just YOLO all of these at once into the computer and see what happens. Alright, let's plug in into these hubs and see what happens. Oh god, they're all clicking on. Okay, well, big surprise, they didn't all just magically work, so now is when it really comes in handy that I bought these USB hubs with all of these buttons and lights on them, because what I'm going to do now is bring each of these drives online one at a time, and then once it pops up in Disk Utility, there we go, I can select it, try to format it, and if it's successful, then I'll know the drive works, and I can move on to the next. So, yeah, 3 down, 31 more to go. Okay, well, after quite a lot of time, there are 4 jerks who decided not to work. But, yeah, this is what it looks like when there are 30 USB floppy disks mounted on a desktop. Alright, so what do you think the chances are of all of these just working together in a RAID first try? Well, let's find out. So we have 30 floppy disks here. What we're going to do is select the first one, choose RAID, and I'm going to call this Mega Floppy, MS-DOS, and Striped. Now we just have to drag all of these over. Alright, there's no way this is going to just work, is there? Let's find out. RAID estimated size, 42.2 megabytes of floppy disks. Well, it's a shocker to no one, it didn't just work. After about almost 20 minutes, I got this nonsensical error creating RAID set failed because it could not add a RAID disk to a RAID. Okay, so maybe one of these drives isn't playing nice. It would be nice if it told me which one instead of just could not add a RAID disk. Okay, so this definitely does work because I just got 4 of the floppy disks to RAID together into a nice 5.4 megabyte super floppy, and yeah, it works just fine. So yeah, let's trial and error some of these floppy drives.
The Owlet Smart Sock Plus provides you heart rate, oxygen level, and sleep tracks right on your phone for an in-depth understanding of your channel, whether they're this big or this big. So while fitness is easy, you can too.
Right now, I'm in one of the top tourist destinations in the world. This is Israel, the land of sun, sea, and sightseeing. It's a country with thousands of years of history. Everything is back open. The beaches, the clubs, the bars, coming over. It's so much fun. And the locals are really excited for you to be here. I mean, it's been a while. Best of all of the malls and street shops are open. I mean, what's a vacation without some good shopping? The thing about a country with thousands of years of history is that there are thousands of years of recommendations. So if you want to try authentic Israeli cuisine, you just have to try everything. Whether it's the sights, the shopping, the sea, or the people, there's something here for everybody. And it certainly doesn't hurt that it's one of the most vaccinated countries in the world. So Yana, Israel's waiting for you. See you soon.
Alright, there it is, Mega Floppy. And here I thought this was going to be easy. Haha, I'll just RAID a bunch of floppy disks together. It'll be funny. But no, this was a horrible, horrible pain, and yeah, pretty much nothing went right. Out of 34 floppies, 13 would RAID together correctly. And I figured this out by going one by one, starting from one no working floppy disk and trying each floppy against it, trying to make 2 floppy RAIDs to see was it possible to RAID them together. And then once I had a pile of working ones, I tried to RAID those together, but no, it didn't work. So then I just one at a time added disks to the pile until they RAIDed together, and then when one didn't RAID together, I put it in the reject pile, and yeah, wound up with 13. And this horrible pile doesn't work, or at least won't RAID together under Mac OS 10. But hey, at least we have a mega floppy RAID now, so let's have some fun and see if all of this hassle was in any way worth it. Okay, let's see what the write speeds are like on the mega floppy RAID with a little bit of DD magic in the command line. We'll just write a bunch of zeros to it and see how fast it goes in Activity Monitor. Yeah, up to 226K per second. Awesome. Let's do a little bit of a bigger file. Well, those floppy drives are really singing. Yep, 226 up, 310 kilobytes per second. Now that is fast. Well, now that we have our strong and reliable RAID of floppy disks, let's use it and install some games on it. But what's going to fit in like 18 megabytes? Let's drag chess over. Oh yeah, installing chess on the mega floppy. That is not fast. Yeah, but we're getting like a megabyte per second. Alright. Launching chess from the mega floppy. Well, that is taking quite a while to start up. Alright, a solid 2 minutes later, and we have chess running off of the floppy RAID. Perfect. Oh, I forgot that you can, like, talk to it. I'm no good at chess. Oh, maybe I'm great at chess. Alright, well, it does work. Not particularly quickly. Let's move some more stuff over there. iChat, sure, you can move there. Not enough space. Sherlock? Okay, so that'll do it for today's floppy infested video. And I have a whole bunch of floppy disks that failed, and a couple drives that worked, and quite a lot of drives that just did not want to raid and play nice with the other ones. And I'm not quite sure why. It might have to do with speed and maybe Mac OS 10, especially older versions, can't really handle differences in speed between different drives, but even drives from the same manufacturer, a bunch of IBM ones worked, and then this IBM one just didn't want to raid with the rest of them. So yeah, I have a feeling I'd have better luck under Linux, and I kind of really love this idea, so I might just do that. I think it might be hilarious to set up a NAS with a whole bunch of floppy drives, and maybe I can even find some more. But that'll do it for today's video. I hope you had as much fun watching me suffer as I did actually suffering with all of these floppy drives. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more floppy shenanigans like this, please subscribe down below. And thank you very much for watching. And a special thanks to Adrian, Eve Perkins, Camilla Moseda, Chris Allegretta, Chris Bruce, Chris Calderon, Chris Nelson, Cobalt Retro Tech, Daniel Hubbard, Greg from Buckcade Mods, Ryan, and Scott Thompson were my I'm Trevor from Cross Cities Deluxe. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now it's amazing what bargains you can find if you don't mind taking risks, and buying this untested R9 270 was certainly that. Untested almost always means broken beyond repair, and while there were some parts missing, like the entire cooling fan assembly, that didn't take away from the fact that I was quite happy with this deal, especially considering that the card works. For less than £8.50, the equivalent of almost $10.80, this old GPU should still have some gaming life left in it. You know what else has some life left in it? This 80-year-old tractor that I've just reviewed on the second channel, Random Car Reviews. I last uploaded 2 years ago, but with the world more normal again, it's time to get back into it. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the video and the channel. With that said, let's talk about the R9 270. It was a mid-range card in 2013 that cost $180. The price varied depending on the model. This Asus one doesn't normally look like this, it normally looks like this. After finding the appropriate cooling component, I inquired about the condition and was told that it was an honest, untested listing, just a dad clearing out his son's stuff that he left behind when he moved out of the family home. I thought that the biggest surprise today would be that this card was actually working, but even more surprising was that Cyberpunk 2077 ran on it with over 30 frames per second. I didn't really prepare for this video, I didn't expect the card to work, so I'll have a full review soon. I feel like someone who's just won an award but didn't prepare a speech. Excuse me while I walk away awkwardly. Driver support ended about a year ago, I think, and usually most of my games just refuse to start when dealing with older cards like this. The title says 1080p gaming for 1080 if I decided not to change it, but yeah, this isn't native 1080p. It's a good effort, but I've got to find something that makes the title true, right? I'll reiterate that I will be reviewing this card fully very soon. While the R9 270 can run some modern games then, I should state that it's limited to DX 11.1, so you will run into some problems, that's for sure, but with the help of FSR and titles that do work, this thing is putting up one hell of a fight. I'm still not back on subject, this isn't native 1080p once again, but wow, this card has held up well over the years. I think I got very lucky with this deal. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy untested cards. I'd like to think of myself as the risk taker, wasting money so you don't have to, but the risk sometimes does pay off, there's no denying that. Far Cry 6 here ran with 50 FPS for a little bit, and then the card hit the VRAM limit and it just crawled to a halt. The Witcher 3 ran at 1080p with medium settings and low post-processing. This is an older game and far better suited to 1080p. For the price of the card, it's hard to complain about the occasional performance dips, resulting in the not-so-great 0.1% low, but overall the game is still enjoyable. Resident Evil Village even ran at 60 FPS on average, which was surprising. This was with the lower settings, and I am pushing it a bit with this resolution, that's fair to say, because this would be far better suited to 900p gaming or below these days. But you'll find that the 2GB VRAM limit on one of these cards does certainly help it out over a 1GB card. I'm not sure if there are any 1GB R9 270s, but there are certainly some 1GB cards from this era. More often than not, the 2GB limit will still be hit, and performance impact will vary on a game-by-game basis. Far Cry 6 really slowed down, but Resident Evil just doesn't care. Performance remains steady throughout my half hour of gameplay. A base PS4-like experience can be had in God of War with the lowest settings at native 1080p. FSR is available, but I kept it off for the sake of maintaining some more truth to the title of this video. Locking the frame rate would be ideal, but I have to say I wasn't expecting this at all. The R9 270, despite its age and lack of recent drivers, doesn't do too badly, that's for sure. Fortnite at 1080p with a low preset and far view distance, along with high anti-aliasing, meant at least 60 FPS with a few little problems. Performance mode would be a better bet here, which of course helps out older hardware by reducing the graphical quality even further. Finally, GTA 5 runs perfectly fine, though the textures were turned down just to be sure to normal. I'll have a proper review soon, talking about the ideal settings for the R9, but so far, well, I'm surprised. It can game at 1080p in a lot of cases, even with some newer games. It's just a shame I didn't win it for a bit cheaper, so that I could have called this video 720p gaming for $7.20, but there's always more deals to find, I'm sure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.
Microsoft Tech for Social Impact is committed to making world-class cloud technology accessible and affordable, so nonprofits can drive even greater impact. Through our technology grants, eligible nonprofits can get Microsoft 365 Business Premium free. That means best-in-class productivity of your favorite Office 365 apps, like Excel and Outlook, plus Teams, with simple device management and security. Get started at Microsoft.com/nonprofits.
We're about to get very busy. Hi. I'm Jeff Lewis. For the last 20 plus years. been designing houses, remodeling houses, building houses. I've pretty much always worked with celebrity clients. I'm a fan of your work, man. My mother loves you too. When you're an $8 million buyer, you want it the way you want it. When I usually walk through a house, I immediately know 90% of what I'm in. Well, the dark stuff's never been in. I don't know how they get any sort of vitamin D.
Of the touch. Or just lesbians. Is there some way to do that in like stainless steel?
About 24 karat gold.
It needs a facelift and maybe a little light.
Are you drawn to any particular colors?
I have no taste.
The last time I was on television was about 3 years ago. Since then, a lot of things have changed. I spent a lot of my life thinking about myself. Being a dad changed my whole life. Almost everything I do is for my kids. What is going on here?
The wallpaper was delayed.
That won't be here till when?
It was 4 weeks.
How did you allow them to make that mistake? When we get fired, we're going to need an additional $25,000.
Well, we decided it was to call.
Pretty much you can be streets up front. It's not my house. Let's take a risk.
Damn you, Jeff. My house is bare. It's on your head.
You wanna know our secret?
If we run the sprinkler line, we should probably pay for the repair. Your old roof, a new roof, is a cobble. Oh my God.
Jeff can fix anything.
Your husband weigh in. If I was as hot as you two, I'd probably want photos of myself all over the house.
I am so happy.
Really? You're gonna drink when I leave.
Mini 2, Mini Harder. All this and more on This Week in Retro.
I was originally called a land of high technology.